If you have clients that don't progress, this video is for you. I'm about to share with you a programming consideration that has helped our clients finally start pushing the needle forward and start getting stronger. When I say not progressing, I'm talking about the people whose weight looks just as heavy on week 6 than it did on week 1 and the weight never increased. Or the people who don't seem to adapt to new exercises or activities. So once it was painful, it's just always painful. And most people, even if something hurts once or twice, usually their body tends to adapt and then they're able to get stronger and progress in that move. But the people that don't progress just never seem to. Or the people who within the session are always fatigued and get gassed and the recovery levels are really low, that is what I mean by not progressing. And when coaches run into these people, the question is always why? And the answer to that is never going to be simple. There are so many reasons why. It's usually multifactorial, so many things are playing an influence on why this person can't progress. But the important thing here is the reasons why are the contributing factors playing a role in this client not able to progress. A lot of the times is out of the coach's scope, out of their control, or not fall within their skill sets, which is why it's important to be able to adapt your programming to these people because you don't have control over these things. Because what ends up happening with these people is they end up getting workouts consistently, but they never progress and they never get stronger. And that's what was happening a lot with a lot of our clients. We have a lot of people in chronic pain, autoimmune disease, extreme crazy work schedules that don't allow people to move, which prevents people from progressing, sleep disorders, probably undiagnosed sleep apnea. So we had all the people that had other life factors influencing their ability to progress that were out of our scope, out of our control, out of our skill set, or even our knowledge. So what we ended up doing with these people that ended up working really well was getting rid of the two different workouts. So most people write an A day and a B day. Your squat, your deadlift, step up, split squat, and then all the different upper body exercises. So a lot of variation. But with what these people need is they need consistency. They need to be able to adapt to these new moves. So if you have all these different exercises, then their body doesn't have a chance to adapt. So what we ended up doing was instead of an A day and a B day, it's day 1 and day 2 on one sheet, and they do the same thing every time they come in. And here's an example of that. You'll notice we even have consistency within the exercises that they do when they come in. So on the first superset here, we have a squat, and this could be an assisted squat, goblet squat, to match whatever their level is at. But this is a picture of an assisted squat. Notice the position that Dave is holding. And when we move on to the first exercise of this second superset, the assisted step up or any type of step up, again, match the ability of the client, you can see that the positions that I'm holding compared to the positions Dave is holding here at the top are pretty similar and very consistent. So even within that day, I'm loading similar tissues, similar positions. And I didn't have a picture of a sled or me pushing the sled, but if I just turned myself over and drew an arm, you could see I'm pushing the sled on the turf, similar position, similar tissues. And if we move on to the upper body component, for that second exercise of the first superset, the short-seated cable pull down, even in the position that the exercise is being done, you can see the consistency within the position. And I didn't have a picture of a short-seated landmine, but it's in the same position, and you can just imagine the bar coming here and they're pressing overhead. So you can see the consistency of the program itself, and every time they come in, they are doing these moves. And what we noticed with our clients was they started progressing a lot faster because they were doing the same things over and over again. And to a coach, when you look at a program like this and you see all this same stuff, it looks, wow, looks like it would be boring. It looks like the client would get bored. But what ends up happening is they end up progressing for the first time, and that's a very novel experience. And once they build some level of strength, They might get motivated to do a little more at home, which also helps with them adapting to these moves. And they might be motivated to even push it a little harder because now everything doesn't feel so hard. They've kind of gotten over that hump that most people get through pretty fast on the beginner stages of exercising. So that is one programming consideration that you can do with these people. And if you want to learn more on how to adapt your service as a coach to meet the client where they're at, because so many things are playing a role and influencing their ability to train, you don't want to miss my talk at the Virtual Adaptation Summit. The next day, you will get to be taken through a service that I created called Mindful Movement, and that was my way of adapting my service to my clients' needs. So make sure you sign up for the summit.